Hello everyone, and welcome back to a few more Elden Ring invasions. This time I'm focusing on some overworld invasions in the Land of Shadow. And for this first invasion, I'm going to be highlighting some tips that I think might help players new to PvP and things that just help me do perform better at overworld invasions. Um, and the first one being check your opponent's weapons just to see what they're using to know what you're up against. I know this one probably seems pretty obvious, but one of the things here is so the Phantom is using a Colossal Sword, and the host is using Bloody Helicy, which means the host has a really good chase down. So and that means I need to commit to running in a direction, because trying to double back through can potentially be very, very deadly. Here's just a little time lapse to the next combat up by these bats. So even though there's a slight adjustment to them, heavy thrusting swords have a really good running attack to allow them to chase you down, and colossal swords will pretty much break your poise no matter what. So the combination is if I tried to double back through, it would be very, very deadly and very risky. So even if I'm not running in an optimal direction, it's better to just commit to the direction I ran and try and change from there. And here is another thing of just run early. If they're still dealing with an enemy or two, but you think that the NPCs are going to be losing, just run. Don't try and overcommit to try and get away, because as you can see, one of these new consumables, I forget exactly what it is, but it's like the Mesmer Fire consumable. It has range of like uncharged Bolt of Grand Sax, which is crazy considering it's just a random item. So this Phantom has incredible range, so if I didn't run when I did, I very likely would have been caught in that, potentially, plus the running heavies of Bloody Helicy. So basically the combination of those two things would be, in an overworld setting where there's not really corners to try and juggle things with, it would just be death. There's not much. If those get staggered properly, like they can roll catch, and there's just not much I'd be able to do. But thankfully here I have some giant, I almost want to, like, I think they're ogres, but I think they're officially blood fiends. I almost want to call them demi-humans just because they drop strength like the demi-humans in the base game. But here I'm just getting some nice roll catches, and Fire Serpent is just very nice. It's an amazing incantation. It does decent damage, but over not like overtuned amounts of damage, and it canceled out the Phantom's Flask for a moment there. And now here, because I'm relatively new to the area, I recognize I'm running into a dead end. Granted, I know that there's a couple of blood fiends back here, but I know that this is a dead end, and sometimes you just gotta shuffle on out. So I use the Phantom Finger, and I just get out of there. And now that I'm up on a hill, I'm just using the Hand Ballista, probably one of the best utility weapons in all of Elden Ring in terms of just launching great bolts at people. Is just incredibly useful. Yeah, sometimes you just need to use the shuffle to get out of there, and then be patient and just wait for the right time to attack. So here I'm running back into the graveyard area where there's just it's weak enemies, but there's a lot of them. So it gives me a really good opportunity in order to separate the host and Phantom, and at least effectively just have them on the defense because they're trying to dodge attacks rather than throw them out at me. So there I'm able to chase down the host. They unlock and try and run away, but I'm able to catch them before they get out of range. GG guys, those are really, I appreciated those two's aggression, and they made it really fun in how far that they were chasing me down. And these two are also just another really fun invasion. Instead of the gravesite plain, these guys are up on the on like the middle plateau area, and the enemy that's down here is a headless troll knight, and on and this guy, I think he can hit me, but he's a little bit better than in terms of like the dragons and the omens, where like the attacks, like he's big enough that I can generally see his attacks be telegraphed, and he also has like the glint blades, which lock on to. They have better tracking than some of the other attacks, like for dragons that just do massive AoE damage. So right now, although he's not aggroed yet, I can still just lure these two over closer and have effectively like a nice safety perimeter that where I can take my time, heal, and not have to worry about them jumping me. And these two have pretty good synergy. I think the Phantom is doing White Mask, Raptor, Black Feathers, and Raptor Talons, and they have Quick Step on those, which is actually pretty cool. I appreciate that it's not just like Endure Blood Flame Blade, so just way to go having it be a unique arcane setup, Mr. Phantom guy. And in terms of like that, because it's not oppressive blood loss buildup, I'm very comfortable just using the good old regular Flamberge and being patient near this Troll Knight to get aggroed and then jump in with these guys. And since this is a 60 Faith build, I have a whole lot of nice ranged options with spells. As you see, I have the Frenzy Laser, and as well as just like a lot of nice things. And there you see, I got hit by the Troll Knight, but again, overall, this guy is, in terms of the enemies that can hit you, this guy kills me like the least out of everybody. Like ulcerated tree spirits and dragons, they are the worst at, like, I almost want to be able to help the hosts in those situations, just because of how often they go after me. And in these types of invasions, don't be afraid to just like throw an attack towards towards one of the like in this case like the host every once in a while. So just to have them like back off a little bit and stay off of you. Yeah, there is nothing wrong with telling some gamers stand back just a little bit. And here is Lita's sword. I don't use it too much, but I do really like light great swords from the DLC. And Needle Piercer is a really nice, unique attack because it takes down the bubble tier from the Flask of Wondrous Physic, so that way I can take that out without actually triggering it for the health. And since I'm using the blue Blessed Dew Talisman a lot with this particular build, it makes it's like it's not free, but it's basically free because of how I'm mixing up spells and regular attacks. And here I change over to a Holy Infused Fire Knight Greatsword, even though it's probably slightly suboptimal for damage. And there I use Hone Bolt because I saw they used a Lightning Dragon Bolt Blessing, which improves your resistances, but gives you a weakness to lightning. But GG guys, that was a really fun invasion, and I hope you all enjoyed the tips. See you in the next video.